What is up, everyone? I'm Morton's Castle, and today I'm actually going to be playing my own hack. This is footage of it. My name is right there. Yeah, I made this over the summer, and it's really stupid, and we'll get into all that in a minute. But I'm just going to be talking about Mario Maker and ROM hacking, just platforming games in general, because you know Mario Maker 2 is coming out. I'm extremely hyped for that, and that's kind of why I'm going back into my thing. So this says, Tennis Aces is out. Rosalie looks sexy as fuck. Mario needs to catch a match before Luigi does, wink wink. And that's the quote-unquote plot of this hack, but there really is no plot. I was just being really funny, because I made this last summer, or whenever Tennis Aces came out, like June or something, and it's actually when I made my YouTube channel, and there's so much to talk about, but yeah, from the start you can go to two different directions, just like the original game, and yeah, here's Luigi's bungalow, and this is the world map. I'll get back into what I was talking about in a second, but I'm just doing this ad hoc commentary over top of this, and it's like a 20-minute video, so we got a lot to talk about and a lot to get through with the new game, and then this hack that I made last summer. But yeah, this is like the first level, and more quote-unquote plot, and it's get the fuck out of my bungalow, which is really funny. And then these lives weren't originally going to be there, but because there's really no way to test it, or like test your hack as you're making it, I left a lot of lives, so I wouldn't have to get a game over. But some of the levels can be pretty difficult. But I'm just going to be taking the top path to Green Highlands 1, which is like, not the correct direction. In my vision, I never finished the hack, there's only like a certain amount of stuff in it. But there are levels downwards, but I fleshed out more of the world in the upper half, if that makes sense. But as the background talks, I was going to go back into my thing. So yeah, I made this hack like last summer, whenever Tennis Aces came out, like June or whatever. And that's like roughly before I made my channel, because I originally made my channel for ROM hacking. Like I thought it was going to be a ROM hacking channel, but I kind of gave up on ROM hacking because it's really complicated and it's fun, but it takes a lot of time. But it is fun, so yeah, that's why I did this in the first place. And it's where my name comes from. Morton's Castle is in the Coupling. I don't know why I chose that, but I was going to be a Super Mario World ROM hacking YouTuber. But that changed because King K. Rool got announced for Smash, and I like talking about that. And some people like hearing me talk about that. And I do like doing speculation, and now we've been doing different things lately. Mother 3 is really awesome. It's really interesting that Reggie's leaving this year. Lots to talk about with that in future videos, I guess. I've already talked about that a little bit, but it's still just damn. But yeah, and then what else was I gonna say? I don't even know, but yeah, this goes up into Green Hills 2, or Green Highlands 2, and something about like this goes into Mario Maker 2, is I changed all of the land to green. There's a few levels in Super Mario World where the ground is green naturally, but not all of them are, so like a lot of these levels where the ground is green, to fit my like world theme of the Green Highlands, I had to change the color palettes, and that was really fun, and I know you can't really do that in Mario Maker 2. At least not yet. They haven't confirmed that color palette changing will be a thing. But they are adding new themes, and that was something I hated about the first Mario Maker, how like, if you wanted a land level, you were like stuck to grassland. But now we have like deserts and like snowy biomes and forests and whatnot. So that's really cool, and that's really hype. It'll let you have more variety, because when you're making like with the same palette all the time, the game gets kind of dull, even though you have so many tools at your disposal, I guess, to be creative. And I liked Mario Maker, but over the summer when I did ROM hacking for a little bit, I just found it so much more, like, it was so much more free. Like, you had so many more tools to use to make levels. And you see me use slopes all the time, just because slopes weren't in Mario Maker, and I was like, I need to use these. But now that they're in the second one, that's hype. So this level is the Highland Fortress. It's kind of glitchy. But I also made it green for no reason. I was experimenting with color, made the liquid kind of black, purplish. But the idea for this castle is that it was like multi-tiered, like you could take a top path or a bottom path. But in the video I used to take the top path because I personally find it easier. But if I ever did release this, I wanted there to be like multiple paths. Not just on the overworld, but within the levels themselves. So here's the checkpoint. And I go through the door and go fight the boss, but I actually die, so we're gonna have to start this again. And as the levels go on, there's more and more edits because I die more and more often because I made it harder as it progresses, obviously. But yeah, color palettes are cool. And see that red thing swirling around the thing? It's like a spark. I forget what it's actually called in Super Mario World, but I hope that that's in Mario Maker 2 because it really wasn't in the first one. But just more enemies, and I know that that's a thing that they were adding, but they showed off a lot of the 3D World ones. But I'm interested in to see what Super Mario World ones that they add, and then also ones from the other games. Yeah, just new enemies is very interesting. I might actually pull up some of the stuff. Let me do that so I can actually know what to talk about. Here we go. I've got the trailer up. They showed slopes. What else did they have? The sun from Super Mario World 3. Now that's really hype. I actually had a level idea for when the game comes out to make it, but I don't know how it would work. But like, because you know how like the sun comes down like an arced path. What if like you make like a very tight corridor where like you don't have a lot of space to go, and the sun is like forced to go through there, and it's kind of like you have to like outrun the sun or like do a puzzle while the sun swings back and forth. I don't know, but this level is Highlands 4. So like after you do the fortress, which is kind of like a middle stage, you got this level which I spammed with enemies. As you'll see, there's tons of flying Koopas and moles everywhere. It's not called entity cramming or like entity overload, but it's like something like that, where like even like when you're ROM hacking, there's a set amount of stuff you can put in a level, and with this one I like hit like the maximum. So that's kind of funny. I went overboard with the enemies, but I think it's kind of cool at the same time. I do like these blue Koopas that like push the shells back. And in Mario Maker 2, I hope that the different colored Koopas are in the game. Because before we just had the red and green ones, I think. There might have been the blue and yellow ones, but I don't think that they did anything. Just like how we didn't have colored Yoshis before, but now we do. So there's just more possibilities of stuff you can make. And then these guys, the sumo guys who like kick the shit down, if those are in Mario Maker 2, that would be hype. I'm just really interested in learning more about what exact new enemies we get. Because there's a lot of stuff you can do and stuff that'll happen. It is so hard to talk for like 10 minutes straight. I don't know if anyone's tried doing it before, but you probably had to do it for like public speaking or like a speech or classroom presentation if you're in school, or if you at work and something where you gotta talk to people all the time, like you're a cashier or something. I don't know, it just takes your breath away for a little bit, but might take a little moment to drink some Gatorade here while the levels switch. So continuing north, this was the Highlands Pass, and for this level I went with the focus of spinning on the rocks, which as you do right there, that's like a tricky jump, but the guy helps you up there if you're fast enough. And I thought that was really cool, and I really like the spin jump, and it's why I like Super Mario World more than like the original game. And then it's still in Soups U or like the new Soups or whatever, but you can spin on more stuff in world. Like you can spin on thumps, you can spin on these rocks, you can spin on almost anything, and it prevents you from dying. And you can use it for cool jumps. And I know like a lot of like Kaizo ROM hacks and stuff do it, and I like love watching Kaizo stuff. I'm not that good at the game, so I can't like do that stuff. So I couldn't really make it, but I wanted to make a semi-difficult hack using the interesting mechanics. So in Mario Maker 2, I'm definitely excited for that. And I'm excited for Mario Maker 2 in general, just to make videos on it. Because Smash content's fun, but grinding out clips online is kind of annoying, especially when like people online do like teabagging and stuff, and then I don't know, you just can't talk online. So people just went degenerate and started teabagging, but yeah, it's just kind of tiring to get clips all the time, because sometimes you can't get any. And you just like play the game for like a while, and you're like, well, I got nothing to show for it, so yeah. But I guess if you're building something creative, no matter how much time you put into it, you can be like, here's what I built. So that's an interesting aspect of the upcoming Mario Maker 2, I guess. Yeah, well, yeah, I used a little teabag right there on that platform. Killed these enemies. This level was really easy. It was just more of a transition level from the Highlands into the upper part of the world. And when I made this hack, I tried to have a not like a lore, because like obviously the plot is stupid, it doesn't make any sense, and there really is no plot. But I wanted to have the world have kind of like a lore to it, have the areas be more distinct, and the paths is kind of more of a transition. So like as from the starting area, like the bungalow, you could have gone up or down, which is like a crossroads, because I wanted lots of options for the player. And the same thing up here after you get out of the pass. When you come up here to, it's called the Starry Crossroads, and depending on what exit you take, you either go to the castle or you go to a boo house, and then that'll either let you go to the desert world or to the forest world. So basically, this is like a crossroads level, and you can do some really cool jumping in this level, and I think I do it right here. Like, I didn't set it up for this, but it was just fun to do, and it kind of reminds me of that from Tropical Freeze, Bopopolis, which is like my favorite level from that game, and a level I kind of want to recreate in Mario Maker 2 once it comes out. Because I don't think I'm going to get back into ROM hacking. I kind of might, but I don't know, it's just complicated. It takes up space on your computer, it takes time, it's kind of hard to do. Like, I never really figured out how to do a lot of the things, like, because obviously the plot has like Luigi supposedly being the bad guy, and I wanted to be really funny and reskin Bowser as Luigi, but that was just way beyond my technical skill. Like, I'm not that smart. But as you can see, there's a key, and that'll take you to the secret exit, which is towards the forest / the jungle world. If you just go to the normal exit, you'll end up going to the castle and then to the desert after that. So that's what I do in this video, because it's just easier to do, but I also show you where the key is. And I actually have some of the forest built up, like 2 or 3 levels of the forest, and if you like go way back into my channel, you'll see one of the forest levels. I think I made 2 or 3 of them, and I actually made another fortress up in the forest, but I didn't get to the castle yet. That was actually where Morton's castle was going to be. But yeah, once you have the key, instead of going forward into the level, you want to go backward into the level across these pipes, and it's kind of like some narrow jumps. Not narrow, but like some tricky jumps while you're holding a key, like this upcoming one to a pink pipe up here. And you gotta watch out for the Goombas, because they have like some weird hitboxes when they land from the parachutes. But that's another thing that got added. Parachute Goombas to Mario Maker 2 is extremely hype, because I can actually do something like Bopopolis, where you do, it's just a level with nothing, no ground to land on, and you just have to jump across these falling enemies. And that is something I'm definitely gonna make once the game comes out, and I'm going to experiment with, because I just like the idea of like levels like that where you have to like do really tricky platforming, something like that. But yeah, that was the way to the ghost house in the forest. But I'm going to show you the castle, and this castle is really kind of difficult, and I purposely made the background and the foreground of the same texture to disorient your eyes. And even when I was playing this level and I made it, it was disorienting, but it's supposed to be. It's like, what's a platform, what's not a platform. And as you can see, the ceiling is really low there, so you have to take a low jump. And then spinning, again, is a really beneficial thing that I like to do. I like how Kaizo hacks like make you use it. And yeah, that's something I like experimenting with. But yeah, this level's kind of tricky, but you do need to use this Koopa to get the shell, because you'll need it to kill an enemy in a second. But it doesn't tell you that, and only I would know that because I made the hack. So this hack is kind of bullshit, but I was kind of mainly just making it for myself to experiment with ROM hacking in general. Yeah, I don't really know. It's hard to figure out what to talk about sometimes with these things. But ROM hacking is really cool, and if you want to give it a try yourself, I'd recommend it. Super Mario World is my favorite game. I think it's one of the easiest to hack, but it's my favorite 2D Mario game. I don't really like the new ones, but I really love the art style, and like I said, like the spin mechanics of this game. And it's really cool because you get like the cape and all these unique enemies. And then the Super Mario World ROM hacking community is like really big. I forget exactly what the website is, but if you like just type in Super Mario World ROM hacking, you'll find it. It's like Super Mario World Central or something. They got tons of resources. They got the editor that you can use, and it's kind of simple to get started. It's kind of tricky, but it's kind of like Mario Maker, because it's just like a tile grid setup. You just place your enemies where you want them. Just place the tiles where you want them. The tricky stuff is like kind of like overworld editing and like overworld pipes. That was like that kind of was like a barrier I struck, and kind of why I stopped, because I couldn't figure out how to like link up my overworld pipes, because there's different layers of the overworld. It's like really tricky to explain. It's kind of like it hurt your brain. But basically the overworld that I was using ran out of space, and I was gonna like have the forest be its own little map. But I couldn't figure out how to link up the original overworld to the forest overworld. Even though it was like, even though I knew how to do it, and there was like tutorials and stuff, and I was doing it, it was supposed to be right, it just wasn't right, and I was like, what the hell? But yeah, there was the boss fight. I like made the ceiling small, just tried to make the boss fight harder, and it actually can be difficult. But in this clip, I did it on the first try. And then didn't even talk about that castle, but that castle was kind of bullshit. It was really janky because the Magic Koopas were like in the walls for some reason. And I could have fixed it, but I left it like that because I thought it was like interesting and it's like its own level of difficulty, which was kind of funny. But yeah, this hack is like nowhere near complete. This was like really the only true castle level that I made. I made like 2 other fortresses, which was the first one you saw, and then the one in the forest before the forest overworld that I couldn't link up. And then something else, this bridge is just not edited. It's the default bridge from the default game. So I'm not going to show you it. I'm just going to show you the level after it, which is Barren Wasteland 1, which is the first level of the second quote-unquote world, or it's just like the first desert level. Because there isn't really actual worlds in this game, because like I said, from the beginning you can either go up or down, and we went up. I did work on the down area, but there's only like a few levels, and I might show that in a separate video, because this is the last level I'm going to show, because I was just getting tired, because this level is really tricky. As you can see with these guys, they're kind of a pain to get past. And then the baseballs can chase you, so I just let that one pass, because I didn't want to die from it, because it would suck. Because I edited this down, I died to those guys a bunch of times, and I don't know why I put them there. Like, I felt evil putting the baseball guys, but Super Mario Maker 2 better have charging chucks, even the baseball ones, because just imagine like the serial killer super expert levels with baseball charging chucks. Like, that'd be fun to watch, but not fun to do. But I did make levels from the South Path, and I did make levels from the mansion from the Starry Crossroads earlier. And then there's like 2 desert levels after this, but that's about it. Like, the rest of the hack is incomplete. Like, the desert doesn't go anywhere, the forest doesn't go anywhere, there's no bosses to beat there, there's no switches. Even though I have like the switch palaces and stuff planned, I just never got around to it because I never finished the hack. So this is the last one, but this one's pretty cool because, like I said, I did the color palette swap. Like, this is just like a cave level, as you can see by like the texture on the ground, but I like made it very sandy, and I changed the plants to purple and made the wings purple to give more like a, I don't know, like a, I want it to be like more of like an Arabia feel with like Gerudo Valley, but I don't know. And then I changed the Koopas to be gray to fit the desert. It was just really cool. And I know Mario Maker 2 is going to let you change the colors of enemies, but that's a pro, or not a pro, but it's a, I guess it is a pro, because it's the opposite of a con. It's a pro of ROM hacking then, is that you can change the colors of stuff, which I think is really cool. And it kind of makes me want to get back into ROM hacking, but I'm not really going to have the time to do it, because it is kind of time consuming. But it is a fun creative outlet if you're interested in it, and I'd recommend it, because yeah, this is cool. Like, this is a whole mini little game that I made, and then I didn't really, I almost forgot about it basically. I thought I deleted it, and I kind of did, but I actually had some backups on my hard drive, because when you're ROM hacking you want backups, because if you like mess up, then your game's fucked. But yeah, I'm almost at the end of this level, but I actually died because the shell comes back because there was an off-screen block or something. And my levels are kind of enemy spam, but they're also kind of difficult, and I kind of like difficult levels. But it was just getting kind of tired to play. Yeah. There is a message block there, but it just says to jump over the thing, because if you didn't know that that was there, you would get hit by it because you would just run up. But you can run up the platform and then jump off it, which is pretty cool. And I don't think that those pink blocks right there are in Mario Maker. And I might be mistaken, but if they're in the second one, that'd be really cool. The sequel for the Switch is also adding on and off blocks, which is really cool. Like, I never used them in this ROM hack because they were kind of confusing, but Nintendo likes to make their stuff easy, so I think in Mario Maker 2 the on and off blocks will be pretty easy to use. I was struggling to get through that little door right there, but I made it. But yeah, this is almost the end of the level after you another annoying baseball guy. Those guys are really annoying to get past. But yeah, this is the end of the video, so thank you for watching and checking out this hack. There are a few other levels in it, but I just didn't feel like playing all of it. But yeah, Super Mario World, fun game. Excited for Mario Maker 2. Let me know what you think about Mario Maker and just ROM hacking in general. Thanks.